Welcome back to the channel everyone. In this video I'm back at Eyemouth. This time I had a friend with me, so I was able to make it to some of the marks that I wasn't brave enough to go to last time. It was a beautiful sunny day at the start of June, but there was really strong winds and I probably should have brought some heavier lures, but we didn't really think the wind would be as bad as it was. I've wanted to fish this mark for a while, and this is where I got stuck the last time and wasn't brave enough to go down. I just didn't fancy climbing it with all the gear in my hands, and there's no point in taking silly risks when you're on your own. So get to here, I'll grab the rods. My plan was to drop some bait in this channel and then fish with lures out in the deep channel there between the rocks. I tried a few baits over that side as well later on. I was using my normal setup for wrasse, which is a ragworm about 2 or 3 feet above a 3-ounce weight, and I was just dropping it out into the middle of this deep section here. Because of the strong wind, I put the heaviest metal lure that I had on, but it was only a 30 gram. And because we had such a strong crosswind, it wasn't even really getting that much of a chance to sink because the line was just pulling it sideways. And at this mark, it's almost impossible to get down close to the water. So even with dipping the rod, there was still a lot of line out the water for the wind to pull on. This was the only bite on the bait that we got at this mark, and unfortunately I missed it. The rod had bent over twice, really hard, but by the time I managed to scramble over the rocks, it was gone and the worm was stripped off. We had a visit from either some big porpoises or small whales here. I'm not too sure, but they were definitely bigger than any dolphins I've ever seen. And it's a pity that they weren't a little bit closer in.
It's a big pod.
It's hard to see on video here, but they seem to form a circle here and were splashing at the surface, so I think they might have been feeding on a shoal of fish. Apart from the one bite that we had over at the left hand side, we weren't really getting any action, so we gave it a little bit of time over at this side. And to be honest, we probably stayed at this mark a bit too long because it was too windy. So we headed round the corner and our plan was to tuck ourselves at the bottom of this cliff if we were able to get down.
Are you going now?
Yeah, but it's too steep here, I think.
I should be able to step to where your feet are. Good handholds. But my bag's caught. The things we do for fish, eh?
I did spot this place the last time I was down here, but there was absolutely no way I was going to attempt this climb by myself. There's just no point. but you could tell from the top of the cliff that it did look really good. So I was really excited to get down and start fishing.
Take your rods if you want. I'll pass the rods back.
That's it. Once that puts there,
I've got a good hand, as long as I've got a good handhold, I'm sound.
and then you've got to like to shuffle to this bit to get your left foot down to that.
Oh, this looks really good. And that's what we've just came down. It's insane for here, man. What the
We had quite a few spectators at this mark. They're quite hard to spot there, but there's a few chicks. They're so well camouflaged against the rocks. And at the end of the session, we left all our prawns and leftover worms on the rocks where they could see them, just to give them a wee treat. And again here, I started off with one rod out with bait, and I was going to fish metal lures on the other rod. I was able to get down much closer to the water here, and it was a lot more sheltered from the wind. So I was able to fish the lures properly, and it really made a difference.
Yes! A little coley, I think. Hey! What? Whoa, come on mate, let me show you the camera. Just a wee tiny collie, but it's the first fish of the day and we've only been here 5 minutes at this spot, so absolutely brilliant. Hopefully we get a few big ones now. Hey! I didn't know we had it on because it didn't really show a bite, but what a cool little fish.
Sea scorpions are such a cool little fish, and I was actually really jealous of Rory here because this is one of my favourite fish to catch just because they're so cool looking, and I've only ever managed to catch one before. So once we put it back, I set up the rod that I had been fishing with lures with bait as well, and copied Rory's technique of just putting on a little bit of prawn and dropping it in right at the edge, just off the drop off. And it worked almost instantly, but unfortunately it was the wrong species.
What's on this? It's a spinner.
I think I've got something on this. Didn't realise I was already recording and switched it off there. Just caught a cool fish on a piece of prawn this time.
I was going to keep on lure fishing, so I brought out my little telescopic lure rod and I tied on a 20-gram silver stinger.
Nice on the braided line. Feel every wee kick. That is just a small fish again. Shaking his head though. Try to get in the kelp. Slightly bigger than the first one. Oh, easy mate. Whoa, come on mate, I'm trying to put you on YouTube. It might be small, but it's something.
The way I fish this style of lure, just cast it out and then give it a good 10 or 15 seconds to sink so it's just off the bottom, and then when I bring it in it's just a fairly slow straight retrieve. Every now and again I would let it pause and let out some more line so that it would drop back down closer to the bottom.
There we go. Nah, he's just banging his head about. Felt like a mackerel at first, the way it was shaking, but it's just another wee collate, I think. Aye. I promise I'm not just hooking the same fish on and throwing it back out. Nah, he is slightly bigger again, so they are getting bigger every time. Just, and I might be talking nonsense, he's about the same. Still happy to catch him though. Torpedoed back down. Taking on the drop this time. Just another wee coalfish though, I think. Aye.
That lure's too good.
Oh, wee man, you've got me. Oh, fish! Oh, he's literally just beached himself there. And again. Oh, come on, wee man. There you go.
Forget that I'm already recording here and switch off the camera.
There we go.
I landed another wee coalfish there, and I hook into one here and do the same again with the camera.
There's another one. It was already recorded and switched off again. Oh, I just shook it.
I'll lose this fish and the next two.
Just lost them there. It was just another small coalfish though. Got another one on. I've lost the last three, so hopefully we get this one up. There we go. Another little tiny collate. I think that's 7 landed and I've lost 3 or 4, so it's been a good day for coalfish. And Rory got that nice sea scorpion, but apart from that, it's been not the greatest. You can't really complain, caught plenty of fish. This is my last cast, I've told myself.
It was a really fun day out fishing, even if we didn't catch any big pollock or any wrasse, which is what I was really after. But you can't complain when you caught as many fish as that, and they all really came on the lure for me. I couldn't really believe that we didn't really get anything on the bait apart from the little sea scorpion, even though that was really cool.
Well, it's not been a good day for bait fishing anyway.
After leaving out some snacks for the seagulls, we climbed back up the cliff. And again, if you're ever down here, be super careful. Just don't take any silly risks.
That's where we went. It's absolutely mental.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.